Our second fitness myth of the day is no pain, no gain. And so this is a really common saying in the fitness world, usually meant with, if you're doing a workout, you're pushing really hard. And so I am here to talk about the nuances of that. And so a lot of these fitness myths come from like a nice sounding soundbite, like it sounds good, but then if you start to apply it to every situation, that's where people can get in trouble. So there is a place where like having that mindset of no pain, no gain is helpful. So for example, if you tend to, don't kill the pain completely, right? Yeah. So if you have the tendency to not push yourself very hard, that's a nice reminder to, okay, I do need to push harder so that way I feel a little bit of that discomfort so I know my muscles are actually getting challenged. So that is where it's helpful. Where I found with my clients, when they say it and I'm saying, hey, and it's usually when they're doing too much weight and I'm telling them back off the weight because their technique is breaking down. Sometimes I get clients that say, hey, no pain, no gain, right? And it's like, no, your body is trying to tell you something. And so that's where the phrase no pain, no gain can be unhelpful and actually hurtful. And so with those kind of situations, and today is going to be probably a pretty good example. I'm doing upper body day. It is definitely challenging for me. I'm going to be using some weights that are heavier than I typically do today. And so I want to make sure that I'm maintaining technique, but also challenging myself at the same time. And I want to stay on that level. However, if my technique starts to break down, then that's my body saying, hey, and I haven't hit the target amount of reps yet. That's my body saying, hey, this might be too heavy for right now. Let's back it down just a little bit so we can stay in that safe range. And so I want to honor that. Now, there are other times, like if you're in any kind of athletics, you're training for a competition, you might push the pain a little bit more because in the moment of the competition, so if you're playing soccer or basketball, especially contact sports, that kind of thing, you want to be able to know how to bear the pain and still push through it. So that way you can get the goal, you can make the win. And so it's a mental game at that point. So there is a place for no pain, no gain. And it's usually in athletics if you are pushing towards a competition and a particular goal. But if you're just in general want to become more fit, more able-bodied for life, you typically don't have to push that hard unless you just want to see what your limits are. And there's merit to that. But even those athletes are not training to failure all the time, every workout. They're not doing that because they need that recovery. You need that recovery to continue to push forward and gain momentum that way. If you're training that every single workout, you're going to break down so fast, you're going to feel overtrained, your rest is going to be down the toilet. And so with this no pain, no gain, you want to make sure you're not going on either extreme. And so what I like to think about as far as what pain is, I like to distinguish it pain from discomfort. And so in the category of pain, these are the things that I would like to stay away from. So pain would be like anything in the joint itself, like where those bones are connecting. So shoulders, hips and hip sockets, anything in the spine. Typically, because anywhere where those bones are meeting, if you're feeling pain in those areas, that's where I would stop, shake it out for a moment, reset, and then keep going. If there's any pain like in the joint, like a burning, searing sensation, like you're on fire kind of thing, or something feels like it's about to tear, that's pain. You should probably stop. That's not a productive kind of pain. I would also put tingling in a category of pain. Even though it's not excruciating by any means, but if there's a little bit of tingle, that means a nerve is getting squished, and we don't want to continue that either. And so I back off again, reset, and then move forward. And then anything that just generally does not feel safe. So even though it doesn't have the sensation of pain, if something just feels a little off, that's another time just kind of pause, reset, and move on. If you do a couple resets and it's still not working out, take the exercise out completely, and then you can replace it usually with something else. And so I do that a lot with my clients. If like, okay, that exercise isn't working for you, let's try this instead. There is nothing wrong with that at all, and I highly encourage it. Don't feel like you have to do an exercise because it says like, oh, this is the best exercise ever. It may not be that case. That may not be the case for your body, and that's all right. Find the things that work. So now on the other side, the kind of pain or what I call discomfort that's okay and you can continue to push through, that's going to be that productive muscle burn. You feel it more in the belly of the muscle. yes, you feel the burn, but it's not like burning, searing, like something's tearing apart. That's completely different. It's a lot more mild, but you're feeling the push, you're feeling the challenge. That's okay. That's the kind of thing that we're going for. All right, so that is the myth of no pain, no gain. It applies to some situations, but not all situations. And so just using a little bit of wisdom with that goes a long way.